Alrighty, guys, we're back for Azorius Artifacts, and this is a Final Fantasy Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. But first things first, this was a suggestion over in the Discord, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one. Now, the original suggestion was a historic deck list, but I don't play historic. Either way, I had a lot of fun piecing it together for Standard, so we have all four Tidus Blitzball stars. It's a 3 mana, 2/1 legendary creature rocking Azorius colors up there. Whenever an artifact you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on Tidus. Whenever Tidus attacks, tap target creature and opponent controls. That's actually really neat, huh? It's a similar concept in here as Mandible Justiciar. 2 mana, 2/1 artifact creature rockin' lifelink. Whenever another artifact you control enters, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Unfortunately, it's not a counter, but still. And also, the lifelink should really come in handy, huh? How about some removal packed in? All four Glass Caskets ought to really do the thing and do it well, huh? Picking up a creature, mana value 3 or less, is like everything in hyper aggro, so yeah. More removal, a couple Perilous Snares. So when this artifact enters, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until this artifact leaves the battlefield. It's really just in here for more artifact removal. We're not really concerned about starting our engines or the max speed. I guess you never know, it might come up, but not going to take the time to go over it right now. More removal, we have a couple Spring-Loaded Sawblades. What's really cool about Spring-Loaded Sawblades and Tidus is, of course, Tidus can tap down one of the opponent's creatures, then you could use the Spring-Loaded Sawblades on it. When it enters, deals 5 damage to target a tapped creature and opponent controls, right? So that's neat. Now we have Astrologian's Planisphere. This is a 2 mana artifact equipment. The equip cost is 2, but it has job select, so it comes in with that 1/1 hero and then attaches this to it. So equipped creature is a wizard in addition to its other types and has whenever you cast a non-creature spell and whenever you draw your third card each turn, you put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So non-creature spells, of course, that includes all of our artifacts that we have packed in here. Well, except for our artifact creatures, of course, right? But you guys get the concept. Like, check out all these 1-drop artifacts, all 4 candy trails. Okay. Eventually, you're popping this, gaining some life, and replacing it with that card draw. Also, the Scry 2 is kind of no joke. We also have all 4 Surgical Skullbombs, guys. This is a 1 mana artifact. You can pay 1, sacrifice this artifact, draw a card. So another one, you can play it, and then eventually pop it, replace itself. But also on this card, and this bottom ability is actually, I feel like it will really come in handy sometimes. 2 and a blue, sacrifice it, return target creature to its owner's hand. Draw a card, activate it only as a sorcery. Yeah, I like this. And we have a couple Combat Couriers too for some more artifact creatures. And this is another one where you can eventually replace itself, or you can unearth it for a blue mana from the grave, which could really come in handy. When you unearth something, it does get haste. And then you're going to be boosting your Justicars or your Tidus too for just that 1 blue mana back from the grave. Maybe you still have that 2 mana open. You can sacrifice it, get that card draw. Yeah, a lot of 1-drops packed in for a very good reason to work well with Tidus and the Justicar. Now we have all 4 Cryptic Coats too. This is a 3 mana artifact equipment. Whenever this equipment enters, you cloak the top card of your library, then attach this equipment to it. So when you cloak a card, you put it onto the battlefield face down. It's a 2/2. It has Ward 2, which is actually pretty good, right? You can turn it face up anytime for its mana cost if it's a creature. Now, equipped creature gets +1/+0 and can't be blocked. Okay. And then for 1 in the blue, you can return this equipment to its owner's hand. So you can return it to your hand, and then you can play it again and get extra counters on Tidus and everything, right? So pretty neat. We have a couple Thousand Moons Smithies on the top end here. 4 mana legendary artifact. Actually, I'm not going to take the time to go over it right now. It's been out for a while, huh? We also have a couple top end Memory Guardians, which isn't going to really be a top end since it has affinity for artifacts. Hopefully we can get it down to around 2 mana or so. And sometimes it's going to be 1 blue mana, which is absolutely insane for those stats. Now, the mana base, guys, 24 total mana. I do think even though the curve is low, it's going to be a pretty expensive deck list overall, and we really, really want to hit our 3-on-3. So, Scene of the Crime is noteworthy since it's an artifact land. Does enter tapped. We don't want that slowing us down too much. Same thing with Restless Anchorage. If you power this up and swing, get the map token. That's an artifact. But again, I don't want too many because I don't want to slow down that early game. So all fast dual lands between the Wastes, the Coast, and all 4 Verge too. No honorable mentions today, guys. Let me know, at the very least, what should have made the cut as an honorable mention. Either way, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. Let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game here. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? I don't know, man. I'm kind of expecting a little bit. As far as artifacts go, I feel like it's actually going to be pretty fast. We'll see, though. We'll see. I do like this curve. I'm keeping this. And even though we want the Skullbomb to activate the Tidus or the Planisphere, I think we still get the Skullbomb down. Well, maybe we could wait. Maybe we could wait. Okay, I'll be patient. We'll try. A big part of this is the fact that it eventually trades out too, right? So it really depends what your hand looks like, I would say. But based on this hand, it's probably much better to wait. We'll see if our hero survives the turn here. I can imagine some spot removal from the opponent, which is pretty good because then it's spot removal that's not picking up the Tidus. Corpses at the last. Okay. That's pretty scary. That's pretty aggressive, guys. We're already down to 13. All right, come on down, Tidus. We'll see if you can survive the turn, buddy. We're going to be taking 5 either way because I don't want to block with Tidus by any means. Corpses of the Lost. Holy cow, dude. Holy cow, 10 coming through. Now that's mono black aggro over there, buddy. That's nice. We're down to 3. Like I said, I don't want to block. We're pretty much dead. So it is what it is, huh? We didn't find any of our removal. Some of our glass caskets, all 4 of them in here for a very good reason, I would say. But yeah, like I said, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get the Planisphere down. Let's get the Surgical Skullbomb down. The other Surgical Skullbomb down. And we'll try to block the skeletons, but I don't think it's going to work out, man. And we also lose both of our creatures too, so... then the Cecile gets through. They're going down to 12. This flips into the Redeemed Paladin, right? Yeah, I mean, we'll try to survive, right? But... yeah, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. If we were doing that, maybe we should have just went... they found some haste anyways, guys. Okay, well, we'll do the blocks. We'll drop them the GG. That was very aggressive mono black deck list, wasn't it? However, we did get 4 turns, which is noteworthy. You know what? I did have fun that game. After getting absolutely obliterated by fast-paced skeletons, the game had to check on our well-being. It's okay. It is okay to lose sometimes, game. I feel like they only ask us after we lose as well, you know what I mean? Okay, Glass Casket. See, this would have been significant in that last game. Holy cow. I guess maybe, depending on what we think we're up against, maybe we want to consider dropping Mulligan until we find some of our removal, but... actually, the Justicar's lifelink would have been significant in that last game too. We're actually more than well equipped to have survived a couple extra turns for sure. What do you guys think? Over Candy Trail? No, Candy Trail turn 1 for the Scry too. Make sure we get our 3rd on top too. Right. So only 2 mana. Bulgari colors. Justicar on turn 2. I'm going to keep Memory Guardian because we can get it down to 2 mana. I don't know how likely that is right now. But also, we'll have the Guardian draw next turn, and underneath the Guardian could be our third mana that we're looking for, though. So, really depends. With Bushwhack and Golgari colors, I can imagine we might be up against Golgari Fight, but we don't see Golgari Fight very often. Alright, we'll try the Justicar, see if it survives. We still see a lot of Go for the Throat, so maybe it actually sticks around. Now, Glass Casket doesn't pick up Obliterator. Perilous Snare does. Okay, it's a Harvester, so it looks like it's actually going to be Golgari Graveyard then, right? Oh, Sentinel. Sentinel in Golgari Grave. We do find our third. We'll try the Tidus. There's no guarantee that it survives, though. Maybe we do just want to go Glass Casket, get the Combat Courier down. Then the Memory Guardian's pretty cheap for next turn, too. We're fine. Everything's fine, guys. Sometimes you gotta go for the greed. They're gonna get an extra map token from the incredible swing here, but we'll see. We'll see if Tidus can actually stick around on the board. One thing when you're playing key creatures like this is there's just an infinite amount of spot removal in everyone's deck list because they kind of have to be playing a lot of spot removal because of all the hyper aggro. So it really punishes deck lists like this where we're trying to do the thing with very specific creatures, but they just have a really hard time sticking around on the board, right? So, all right, more mana is actually pretty good. We can successfully get Combat Courier down. We'll go Glass Casket to pick up the Sentinel, and then it's still a 2-mana Guardian. For some reason, I miscounted. That's okay. I thought that 1 mana was going to give us the Memory Guardian for the turn. Oh, another Memory Guardian's really good, guys. Okay, I'm going to start with the swing. Yeah, second Bushwhack, it's probably Golgari Fight, right? What's nice about Golgari Fight is maybe Memory Guardian can just fly in. Fly above the Obliterator for most of the game. You could also find a Perilous Snare for Obliterator when it comes time. First, they gotta find the Obliterator. Oh no, Maelstrom Pulse. Maybe I should have played around that, knowing Golgari colors. I'm gonna start with Candy Trail here, guys. Pretty brutal. Alright, Scene of the Crime is okay, I guess. Go for the swing here with the Courier. I don't know if playing around the Pulse, because we still don't know what we're up against technically. I don't know if playing around the Pulse would have been the greatest. I am going to get Scene of the Crime down, even though we won't get any artifact ETBs here, and we might actually sacrifice it for some card draw, because we don't need it on the board. I don't really want to pop the Combat Courier for card draw. It's our only creature right now. They go ahead and power up the Restless Cottage, which is actually pretty scary here. We don't have a lot of ways to deal with the Restless Cottage. Yeah, and they're not giving us a lot of information about their deck list either. They go map token onto the cottage too. Let's see what they see. Gonna be some land, which is probably good news for us, right? If they're flooding. Although they have multiple Restless Cottage that eventually they'll be able to power up. All right. The Justicar's great. I don't know how much I want to swarm the board right now, but we probably still play it all. We won't get the like swing or the boosted swing off the Justicar, but we still want to play it all out. I'm pretty sure. An Island is the face down card, and I'll go for the swing. Even though that's a pretty good chump block for us into the cottage, I think we just rather take the 4 damage for the turn. There's the Obliterator. Dude, okay, we need the Perilous Snare. We only got a couple of them packed in here. Oh, wow, dude, what a draw, man. Holy cow. I mean, sometimes we get so lucky. Anoint with Affliction. Oh. Oh. Okay, okay. Well, at least it's not removal for the Perilous Snare or something, right? And we will be able to swing for 4, take 4 from the Restless Cottage next turn. Hopefully they don't top deck another Obliterator here. I might bounce the Cryptic Coat, but we can wait till the end of their turn to do that, or draw off the Courier too. Maybe I should have kept Courier back, actually, because the Chump would have been decent, because it's not like their Restless Cottage has Trample, and then we could have popped the Courier to draw. It's fine, though, I think. What do you guys think? Yeah, down to 12. Yeah, I'm going to go Cryptic Coat back to hand, and then we'll recast it next turn. Okay, Candy Trail's pretty good. Definitely start with the Scry here. See what we see. Another Cryptic Coat is probably decent. It slips underneath their blockers, and that's pretty important. I'm going to keep it. They don't have enough to power up another cottage. 2 in hand we don't know about. All right, full swing. Yeah, we keep trying to push this damage through. At some point, I want to keep the Courier as a chump blocker, and I don't think that point is right now. Oh, guys, keeping Cryptic Coat on top is a terrible idea because it's the card that actually gets... Oh, no, guys. It's the card that gets cloaked. Mistakes were made. I really should have sent it, and maybe we could have found a creature underneath for the other Cryptic Coat. Hey, looks like we'll finally have a target for the other Glass Casket. Yeah, maybe we could have found like a Tidus or something. I guess we'll see what's on top here. They go for the 4, and next turn we'll be keeping open a chump blocker, I suppose, right? And they still have 2 mana open to actually pop the food, so they're actually going back up to 18. Restless Cottage being an absolute menace. Oh, nice. They play the Dread Knight for the turn, giving us a target for the Glass Casket. They actually played more mana too. It's just more mana for us as well, so we can actually start with the card draw on the Candy Trail. We go back up to 11. Or Candy Trail. Oh, nice. Yeah. I'll play it to get the Scry. Won't be recasting the... another Candy Trail. Actually, I don't mind it, dude. The extra life gain is pretty good. We'll dump our hand. Pick up the Mosswood Dread Knight. So that gives us a swing, and I'll finally keep the Courier. They cut down their own Dread Knight so they can get the extra card draw and everything, guys. Oh, that's really good for them. All right, this is the turn to actually keep the Courier as the chump blocker, I would say. Do I like that, though? Are they actually going to power? They're going to spend 2 to draw. No, I'll take more damage. It's fine. Everything's fine, especially with the life gain on the Candy Trail. That extra 1 damage could really matter. Perilous Snare is open. It's activate only as a sorcery, so we should probably actually do this. I will plug it onto the actual equipped one, since that one's actually getting underneath their blockers. So they start with the card draw. They go down to 8. They go Mosswood Dread Knight. It blocks the other 2 pretty well. They still have enough to power up the cottage. And see, we could have kept the Courier as a chump blocker, but we're going down to 7. I think that extra 1 actually really matters. They concede, guys. What was that about, I wonder? I don't know. I have no idea. They go back up to 11. We have no cards in hand at all. Candy Trail was going to help us draw. We were getting 4 underneath here. They'd go down to 7 after popping a food. They could trade here. We could slip 1 more through with the Courier, but we're also going down to 7, so Courier was probably finally going to be a chump blocker. We had Snare to boost this one that was going underneath their creatures too. Gain 3 on trail draw. They didn't know what was on top of our deck. I have no idea. Maybe they ran out of time. Maybe they had to go do something. I don't know. What do you guys think? Unless I'm missing something fundamental in that match, I feel like that could have gone either way easily. And the Restless Cottage was just an absolute menace for us. Because this deck list doesn't... I was going to say it doesn't have instant speed spot removal, but that's actually a lie. We do have the Flash artifact that could have cleaned up a Restless Cottage, but they had 3 of them on the board, so... This might be a risky keep, but I like the scry on the early scry on Candy Trail is actually crazy. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Yeah, risky keep. We'll see. We'll see. Let's find some removal on top. Nope. 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 Find our Glass Casket. We need 8 Glass Casket in the build, guys. We need 8 of them. Okay. They boost with Rockface Village and get 3 through. It could have been a much worse turn for us. Oh, uh-oh, mana. Not good news. Card draw on Candy Trail. We can do it on their turn, I guess. It doesn't really affect anything if we wait for their turn. It does affect a little bit. Keeping this open mana could change how they play cards out of their hand, which does matter. Just go for a boost Heartfire Hero with Rockface Village. Maybe Monstrous Rage for the turn for an extra 3. Nope. Down to 13. Burn out Bastronaut actually after combat here, so now we can pop the Candy Trail without any worries. Go back up to 16,000. Moon Smithy's actually decent, right? Now, how do you guys feel about establishing the Tidus? Yeah, no removal in hand. Pretty sketchy. I don't think we die this turn, but a 4th land into 2 mana, give double strike to Heartfire Hero, and then a Monstrous Rage. Actually, they only need 3 mana to do that. They got 1 going through here. Okay, good news. It's not double strike for Heartfire Hero, right? They go for the full swing. Oh, we're just going to take it. It's very hard to block mono red either way, but we really don't want to lose Tidus to a Monstrous Rage block. You know what I mean? So there's the Monstrous Rage. It's an extra 4 because Heartfire Hero also gets the extra counter. We're in desperate need of our removal. We do not find our removal, guys. Now we die to when the Heartfire Hero dies. Is there any way through here, guys? Is there any way through? Yes, we could draw a Glass Casket off the Skullbomb. Right? We could. Let's see what we see. Come on, Glass Casket. Oh, Perilous Snare. That would have been pretty good too. Oh no. Oh no, guys. Okay, but now we don't have enough mana for it. Mandible Justiciar has a lifelink. I'm pretty sure we're dead though. Okay. Okay, yeah, if we can chump Heartfire Hero and actually just take 2 from the trample. Oh, but Bastronaut has Menace, so we won't actually get the lifelink on the Justiciar. So Justiciar into Hero, take 4, gain 2 is a little better. Oh no, they take our card. Guys, the opponent's being a bully. Good game, opponent, good game. Oh man, yeah, I mean, just early exile removal is absolutely essential versus Heartfire Hero. We weren't able to find any of our 4 Glass Caskets. We were able to find a Perilous Snare just a little bit late. 1 card late, actually. Once we drew into it, we just didn't have enough mana for it. But either way, we would have been able to pick up the Heartfire Hero with the Perilous Snare. But then, as we saw, they would have been able to steal our Tidus and get an amazing full swing there anyways. So we were stuck between a rock and a hard place, regardless of what we actually saw. We would have needed to see 2 Glass Caskets that game to successfully do something, or not just Glass Casket, we could have also found our Flash artifact to maybe pick up the Slick Shot Show-Off or something too. So, hey guys, while I have you here in the middle of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. We'll talk about the YouTube side of things after I decide if I'm keeping this. This is good. We go first? Yeah. This is good, man. We start with the Scry on the Candy Trail for sure. I'm not concerned about our turn 3 Tidus. We might take some more time for setup depending on what we end up drawing here too. Yeah, turn 1 Candy Trail over establishing Scene of the Crime. Because we can always keep open mana on the top from the Scry too, so. There's open mana in the Planisphere. I like both of these in this order. Yep, that's good. Really good. All right. Anyways, YouTube side of things, if you actually like the video, make sure you drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. So thank you guys. I do appreciate you. Hey, hero survived. No burst lightning from the opponent this time round. I say this time round because boy, is it pretty consistent to lose your first creature to an open mountain. All right, against Boros colors, I hope it's not a temporary lockdown. If it is, I guess Tidus is the way to go here. Maybe we start with the swing, see if they pick up our hero. Nothing sticking. Tidus? Nothing. No removal, no lightning helix. What on earth, bro? It's tapped land with pit offerings, which is probably good news for us. So we don't need this. We can get the artifact land down to boost the Tidus. And then we can go Surgical Skullbomb, boost both of them. I think we go for it, right? Even if we're running right into a board wipe, I'm pretty sure we just go for it. Most likely board wipe would be temporary lockdown over one of the 4 mana board wipes. So, and that won't be our 3rd turn. So we're going to keep Skullbomb open on their turn. Anyways, I meant to say 3rd draw for the turn. Good game, opponent. Wow, dude. Now we're talking. We got to see the aggro side of things here. That was our turn 4. Hey, it actually asked us our well-being on a victory. Cool. Of course we had fun. Anyways, Tidus boosting to a 5/4 is crazy. This was our 4th turn swing, right? So it looks like we had a potential of winning on turn 5, which is pretty good for what Azorius usually does, right? So we had 8, we had 10, they're at 12. Any artifact off the top would be huge, but we're going to draw into those artifacts. Skullbomb was about to pop at the end of their turn. If we just flooded and saw more mana, we could have candy trailed on our turn too. So, and then don't forget when it passes back to our turn, of course, we're going to be drawing at the beginning. So, which is a really good chance of finding more artifacts or more non-creature spells to boost the Planisphere too. So, cool. Let's keep the ball rolling. That was freaking sick, man. I don't know where the opponent's early removal was, but we got to showcase a lot of different synergies in that one. Opponent goes first. Oh, great news, guys. Double Glass Casket. When you see this, opponent goes first. You love to see this. Double Glass Casket. This should really come in handy here, huh? We'll see, we'll see. Industrial Regency coming down tap for the opponent. I'm going to have patience with the Skullbomb. How do you guys feel about that? I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if it's worth having patience, but both Justiciar and Tidus in hand, and Planisphere for that matter. Thundertrap Trainee. Oh. Is it Wizards, maybe? Right? Alright, more mana's good news. Picking that up with the Glass Casket. It's not the greatest card to target. What's this? Memories returning. Top 5 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand, then choose an opponent. Put one on the bottom of your library. Then you put one into your hand. Then they put one on the bottom of your library. Put the other into your hand. Huh. Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah, we're going to go for the Planisphere here since it grows. It grows further than the Justiciar since it's actual counters. Same thing with Tidus next turn. And we're going to try to establish this setup. Hi, BB. Okay, BB right on time. Cryptic Coat. All right, we don't have a lot of options here. We can't set up with Tidus. You have to remove BB right when you see it. So, and especially while they're tapped out too. Get the Skull Bomb down for an extra counter onto our hero. Now, it is going to be 4th mana. Guys, it's actually Grixis Wizards. Okay. I'm scared, dude. They have some top-end pieces that could be very scary. Go for the throat. Oh man. That breaks my heart a little bit. Cryptic Coat for the turn. Tidus for the turn. Tidus, right? It's Tidus for the turn. Come on down, buddy. Little Blitzball star. Alright, what are we thinking? We thinking to equip the Planisphere to Tidus and then play Glass Casket, pick up the trainer, get a good swing? Probably not. We want to save the Glass Casket for another VV. Next turn might just be the, maybe Justiciar, equip Planisphere to Justiciar. The lifelink could go the extra mile, maybe. Oh, they cut down the Tidus, guys. Okay, okay. 2 pieces of spot removal out of the opponent's hand, and they go for stock up for the turn. I wonder if they want to find their 5th mana here. We'll see if they play their 5th. They do. We have to be worried about top-end wizards. So Spring-Loaded Sawblades is pretty good. I think it's okay to establish Justiciar and equip. And I hope that's okay. I hope that's fine. Just taking the turn for setup is really slow, especially now that the opponent has their 5th. They go for a stock up though, guys. Maybe they want to find some removal with 2 open mana, one of them being a swamp. They do find their 6th mana. Black Mage. Ooh, Perilous Snare. Nice, nice. Okay. Right, so we want to keep Spring-Loaded Sawblades open, probably. We want to keep Perilous Snare. Cryptic Coat is also a pretty good play for the turn. Maybe we do that. Maybe we don't worry about their creatures. We have card draw with the Skullbomb first. We can start with that. We also have the bounce, too, but I'm going to start with card draw, then go Cryptic Coat. How do you guys feel about that? Oh, a Skullbomb's pretty good. We can actually play that Glass Casket instead of the Coat. Now we'll go Coat, and we want to do it before combat. 1, 2, do they double block then if we do that? Probably not. I don't think they want to double block here. It's a pretty good double block for us. Because we go back up to 21, they lose both of their creatures, and then the Black Mage would have to be re-equipped to another creature to actually successfully get stuff through. So I think they take this 4. They do. Alright, with 6 mana on the board, I think we should be afraid. But we have good removal in hand. 3 pieces of spot removal in hand, actually. And it wouldn't be terrible to attach the Planisphere to the face-down card that has the Cryptic Coat, too. Alright, so put a card on the bottom of the opponent's library. Stock up, right? And then they're going to grab the Black Mage. Yeah, we don't want them to have another stock up. It's too valuable once they have this much mana. I suppose they're already mana fixed, so island, and then they get to keep the starting town, which actually will come out tapped. So giving them a tap land that they have to pay life for and everything. Strategic Betrayal. I guess we should keep the Justicar. Alright, yeah, that's a way to get around the Ward 2 there. Although they had enough mana to potentially pop it with a cut down too. They had 3 open. 3 pieces of well-placed spot removal for the opponent so far. 2 more Black Mage's Rod. Still think we need to keep this, right? This second Cryptic Coat is actually really good here. Only starting town open. Speaking of cut down, uh-oh guys. If it is a cut down, they want to do this on the stack, and that would be really good for them. Uh-oh. Uh-oh guys. Oh, Spell Pierce. That's also really good for them, isn't it? Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get Skullbomb down. 6/5 lifelink. Looks like they are going to go for the chump this time. No. Actually, we go up to 24. They take it down to 6, which could be very dangerous for them. What's the plan here, guys? Going wide with the mages? Okay, and the other rod, maybe? For the turn, we take 2 down to 21. Grix's Command. Or wait, what did I say? Oh, Gix's Command. Same thing. Same thing in a Grixis build, right? Oh, no. Oh, good stuff, opponent. Good stuff. They gave lifelink to this one, so they're back up to 10. Really good stuff. All right. Well, Cryptic Coat can come back to hand. We can play it. Spring-Loaded Sawblade can come down, pop the 4/3 at least. They're 1 mana short from Memories returning at 9 mana, which would actually be terrible for us. We want to do this while they're tapped out, right? I think so. And I think I'm just going to go draw on the Skullbomb. Oh, I should have done that first, actually. I should have done that first. But we can actually use the bounce on the Skullbomb. It's activate only as a sorcery. That's a little better, probably. Because then their Black Mage's Rod's just chilling over there waiting to get re-equipped. And that's a very expensive equip ability. We're going to have a hard time pushing the rest of this damage through, guys. A big part of it's going to be this Cryptic Coat. But we have to figure out when we want to do that. They have found all 4 of their Black Mage's Rods, guys. Holy cow. And they go ahead and they equip one. They have so much mana. It wouldn't be terrible to pick up, like, Perilous Snare, pick up one of the rods, I guess. It kind of is, though, isn't it? We're at 13. We'll start with the Scry. We really need to get that Cryptic Coat back down, but I don't know, like, when the best time to do that is. We do not need mana, although the 6th mana wouldn't be terrible. We do have 4 mana open to craft this with an artifact. Could start swinging with it. We're at 13. I think we could die next turn. You know what? And that's probably okay if that happens, right? Probably. We'll see. We could also use this as a blocker. It doesn't have haste. So we do just use it as a blocker. This is the first time I'm powering up Chariot, like, ever. Yeah, it doesn't have haste. I should have waited. Can you craft at instant speed? Why am I blanking right now, guys? I don't know, man. Into the Flood Maw, they actually target the Glass Casket, get VV back. Uh-oh. Oh, we're gonna die unless they find, even if they find mana off the top. Oh no, guys. Oh no. That's really bad. All right. All right. I should have went for removal. I know. I know. Maybe they equip Black Mage's Rod to the VV. Maybe we can successfully block VV. Wait, then we're still taking 6 anyways, guys. Oh, what have I done? Oh no. Hey, good game, opponent. Really good game, actually. So that could have gone either way, and a lot of that came down to me at the end of the game there, being very, very greedy. At any point, though, this could have heavily leaned towards the opponent. They just had so much mana, and at any point, at any time, they could have found more draw spells or anything like that. So yeah, that was a good one. Okay. Let's actually end it there. We got to showcase the deck list pretty well, I would say, overall, for what the deck list is actually trying to do as well. So Azorius artifacts. Here's the deck list again. Like I said, the suggestion in the Discord was a historic deck. I don't play historic, so I built it for standard, and it was pretty fun actually trying to find the right pieces to trade out that would make it still actually work for standard. I like Tidus, a Blitzball star. Really cool creature. We got a problem with standard right now, guys, and that is hyper aggro. I call it hyper aggro. I don't just call it aggro because I play all kinds of aggro deck lists. I would count this as aggro. It's just not hyper aggro, right? So I call them hyper aggro for a reason. They're the deck lists where you get 2 turns and you're pretty sure you're going to die. That's it, right? And that's all you can do. And sometimes what that means is you need to have early removal, like no matter what, sometimes, right? So Glass Casket in here as a 4 of, I would not drop these at all. Fits the artifact theme, fits standard right now, right? Exile, mana value 3 or less. Actually, I think even outside of artifact builds, this is underplayed in some deck lists. What do you guys think? I think so for sure, especially with all the Heartfire heroes we're still seeing, especially since it just picks up so much. Like, look, we picked up a VV with it today. That's going to be a great target from Corey Steelcutter deck lists, right? Because they're all rocking VV nowadays, which is a very good addition, I would say. Anyways, guys, about the hyper aggro, everyone's playing early removal. What that means is Tidus just has the biggest of big targets on his back, and he's going to die to like everything, dude. All the burn from mono red, burst lightning, all that, right? Maybe we get a huge Tidus, and we're really happy about it. The Tidus is an 8 power. It's an 8/7. It's really going into the Flood Maw, right? And then maybe you don't even get a chance to get the ball rolling with Tidus. And Cut Down hits it. Go for the Throat, of course, hits it. Luckily, Go for the Throat doesn't hit a lot of other cards in here, but that just means that the opponent has them stocked up in their hand. As they continue to draw more, that's just more things that can target the Tidus at that point too. So I'd drop these down to 3, even though it's kind of an essential build around of the deck list. And I'd go down to 3, and I'd go up the 3rd Perilous Snare. It's also legendary too, so sometimes you'll see multiple, and it'll hold you up. Realistically though, when you see multiple, you'll just be a little bit happy because you'll be able to play the second one after they pop the first one, and the third one after they pop the second one too. So if they're popping all these Tidus, maybe you get to keep the Justiciar around. Or maybe you get to keep your warded creature around that's actually getting in underneath all of their chump blockers too. So yeah, standard has been a pretty brutal place. The power level is incredibly high, and being able to take something like this into standard, it gets harder and harder as we get more sets. That's what it feels like, right? But I think that this deck list was relatively successful as far as off meta, as far as a little janky goes. It still did the thing, didn't it? Kind of, sort of, I would say. Kind of, sort of did the thing. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. What would you add or take out? I actually really like this lineup of 1-drops too. All of the 1-drops in here are colorless, so they come down regardless of what mana you see. And all of them can pop themselves to replace themselves. So not only are you dropping these on the board, you're dropping the ball on the board for the Blitzball star, right? Then you can replace it, find more artifacts to then play out of your hand to continue to boost Tidus, to continue to boost the Justiciar. And it's a similar concept with Cryptic Coat where you're returning this to your hand. Boy, 24 mana for a very good reason too, huh? A little bit of extra mana in like all of those games wouldn't have hurt too much. Speaking of which, there in that last game too, I even sent some mana. Maybe I should have kept one on top so we could have had a little bit of extra mana to do multiple things on the same turn, like actually bounce that Cryptic Coat would have been pretty essential. That Gix's command from the opponent was really good too. Gaining 4 kind of took us out of the mindset of, okay, now we won't be able to get this damage through underneath their creatures. If they weren't able to gain that 4, bouncing Cryptic Coat a turn early, maybe we could have won in a couple swings because it's a 3-2 and it's getting under their chump blockers. So without that Gix's command, that could have been a very different game for real. I also really like the Astrologian's Planisphere. I'd actually play more of these if I had more. I don't. I only have 2. For me, I don't play enough blue to make this worthwhile for the craft. I will say this, when I pull more out of packs, I'll probably be pretty happy about that. Because even though I don't play a lot of blue, I do play a lot of artifacts. And even outside of artifacts, this Planisphere could probably be pretty good. Non-creature, get a counter. And then opponent pops the creature, but that's okay. You can re-equip this somewhere else instead. I like this. I like this a lot. I'm keeping my eye on that one for sure. All right, guys, let me know what you thought down in the comments. Yeah, what would you add or take out? And let me know. Let me know what you think of Tidus Blitzball Star. Do you actually like all 4, or do you agree? Going down to 3, go up to 3rd Perilous Snare would probably work pretty well. I could also see 3 Cryptic Coats too. Speaking of which, if I did have the like 3rd or 4th Astrologian's Planisphere, I don't know if I would drop. I'd probably drop a Cryptic Coat, and I'd probably drop a Tidus and go up the 3rd and 4th Astrologian's Planisphere. It's doing a very similar thing in here. That's tough, though. That's tough because it really depends what you're seeing, too, because that 3rd Perilous Snare is probably pretty important as well. Maybe Memory Guardian could be on the chopping block, especially since affinity for artifacts, sure, you're going to get it cheap, but a lot of our artifacts pop themselves, too. And that's one of the reasons we don't have all 4 Memory Guardians to begin with, so... Okay, guys, enough rambling, huh? If you made it this far in, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. And I will see you in the next video.